Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Pillow Fright Podcast. I'm Alyssa.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Emma.
And we are your three besties here to keep you in the loop with all things horror.
All right. And we have a very special guest with us invited to the party tonight. He is a horror journalist, a repertory film host, and the one who puts all the credits at the end of your fave movies, Mr. Brian Collins.
Hello.
Brian.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
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 Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, sir. So what enticed you to want to say yes to this extravaganza we're about to
If you ask me to talk about Jason and then Friday the 13th movies, I will show up anywhere because I'll just be doing that anyway. So if somebody's going to like record it or actually use it in some way and it's not just going to be listening to me babble for half an hour for nothing, then it's all the better for everyone, I feel.
We're talking about Jason tonight? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, no. Spoilers.
Yeah, I'm very
Also
happy that
sorry.
you're here. And I told these girls I'm very sorry because I'm going to contain myself as best as I can because I think we bonded over our love for the franchise and over the underdogs in particular and the battle over which is worse or best, I guess. Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell, or Jason Takes Manhattan. And I'm very excited about this. I'll contain myself.
So before we get into this episode, I really want to talk about everybody's favorite slasher films because I feel like they're going to be very eclectic. Brian, do the guest. You go first.
Just one? Or
Yeah, just one. Your favorite slasher.
well, Halloween's my favorite movie. So,
Favorite movie ever.
yeah. So,
Above
So
Kathy's Curse.
yeah.
All right.
What Halloween lacks in teleporting Canadian children, it makes up for in suspense. And everything about Halloween I love. I loved it since I was a kid. So I doubt it'll ever be top for me.
Interesting.
No, I called dibs on going last.
Oh.
I have to think.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I had to think, too, because obviously I have my go-to answers, but I'm sure there's more than that. Halloween is actually one of my favorite movies of all time as well. So that's up there. But when you ask specific subgenres, I try to think not of my favorite movies. Honestly, and this is going to sound so weird, and I would have to get real into it to explain why. But I think it's Friday the 13th Part 5. Because I don't think of Friday the 13th as a slasher movie, even though they are clearly by the book. But I think of Part 5 just strictly as a slasher, take Jason out of it. I think it's a great slasher movie. And it's dirty and sleazy. And I love that. And Scream.
I kind of think, okay, so you want to hear weird. This is going to be weird. So, I mean, you both know that I'm not the slasher person. I'm not the person who's I love all slashers. But I really love, and I don't know why, but I continuously go back to New Year's Evil.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Phantom of the Paradise thing. Maybe it's all the Los Angeles locations. I really love that movie. I continuously go back to it more than any other slasher.
The allure of an Eric Estrada party.
It's true.
Oh, gosh.
Oh God, he came into when I used to work at Michael's in the framing department. I get a phone call one day and they're like, just so you know, a big celebrity's about to come in to get some stuff framed. Is that okay? Can you accommodate? And I was like, yeah, we get celebrities here all the time because it was the Studio City one and it really is a lot of celebrity people. And I'm just like, but they wouldn't say who it was. And so I'm just like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden I hear, Emma! It's fucking Eric Estrada screaming at me. And he's come to frame photos of him in a tuxedo that he's autographed. And I think they must have been for charity or something. But yeah, that's my entire Eric Estrada story.
So I think, so my original favorite was Jason. I don't know, because I was always like, it's not his fault. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. You kill those guys. They deserve it. But something about the learning the behind the scenes of the first one and the snake thing is in my opinion unforgivable. And
Did they hurt a snake?
Yeah.
he killed the snake. That
It was
snake
a
that's
real
in there.
snake.
It's a real snake. The handler was on set. It was not supposed to be killed. I won't say it on here from what, there's a lot of stories about how it happened and no one's claiming that they did it, but a lot of people blame one person, but it sullied that for me too. Because I There's a reason I'm not going to watch Cannibal Holocaust. There's a reason I'm not going to watch these things. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, but it's for a movie and you didn't need to fucking do that.
Oh.
So I can't with that movie anymore. And it just like, so I can't even say that that's my favorite slasher. I actually think my favorite slasher, right, and you're definitely going to disagree with me. I think it's Leslie. I think it's
Behind the Mask.
I think it's Behind the Mask.
It's a good one.
I know it's not like it's just something about the seeing of the person behind it. I think I just really, really enjoyed that whole thing where I was like, yeah, because he is a slasher. He's doing great. He's doing such a good job. He's doing such good work. Good for him. He's really putting the effort into it.
Doing good work.
So I think he is my favorite. I respect the ethic.
He's got
the work
he
ethic.
learned from the best.
He did
from the best.
The amount of the tropes and everything, but I just think that's the fun part about a slasher is, you know, you want to root for that guy, and that's one of those movies that like lets you root for him.
Yeah. All right. Well, so speaking of slashers, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, let's get into our movie for this week. Jason Voorhees survived drowning, stabbing, burning at a 400-year cryogenic nap to boldly go where no man has gone before. Outer space. That's right, pillow fighters. We are talking Jason X.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I know how thrilled you are.
You know what? if you guys will watch my Art Jazz movies, I will watch Jason X with you. It's fine.
It's okay. It's fine. Sometimes we need to escape with just a little bit of just some fluff. A little bit of, you gotta fluff the horror dick that is, you know what I'm saying,
Getting
right?
cut.
You know exactly what I'm saying.
Getting cut. Save it for the Patreon, girl. This is not going in the final edit.
You wanna read the synopsis?
I will. If she starts doing like the hot tui shit over Jason, then yeah.
Don't tempt me.
I honestly think that Alyssa would have sex with Jason.
I might be his first.
This is the most
I'd be
human
willing.
form that he's in. So I guess
Would.
if you're
No, he's gross in this one.
I feel like he would have like a chrome.
Oh, he'd have a huge ass.
a cod piece,
big old
Yeah.
wiener.
yeah.
It would be metal and it'd be girthy.
Oh, I'm
Cheers.
sure when he got upgraded, he got
Yeah, did they get metal dick when they got an
Upgraded.
upgrade? Like, did they blow his dick off too when they were like all the parts that had to be replaced?
he
Yeah.
got upgraded.
Oh God.
All right. So the year is 2455. The place is Old Earth. Once the shimmering blue jewel of the galaxy, Old Earth is now a contaminated planet abandoned for centuries. Yet humans have returned to the deadly place that they once fled, not to live, but to research the ancient rusting artifacts of a bygone civilizations that caused this environmental disaster. And little does the most recent landing party of intrepid young explorers Wait. How does that...
I didn't
That
write it.
sentence is trash.
None of this is actually in the movie
I
either.
know.
It's
No,
even better.
it's in the movie for 4 seconds. It is in the movie for less than the Cronenberg cameo, okay?
Unfortunately.
All right. And little does the most recent landing party of intrepid young explorers realize that fate awaits them.
Guys,
Except for opposite.
listen.
Milk.
Ma! Where's the meatloaf? The meatloaf, Ma! Can you imagine Jason? Guys, can I tell you? I know it's this one, and while this one is not particularly, not even on my list of favorite Friday the 13th movies, the fact that we're talking about one makes me very excited. I didn't mean to. It makes me very excited.
Welcome, Brian.
Hi.
This is what happens.
She does this a lot, but she does this a lot.
Do you mind if I pull up mine?
No.
It's on the side.
That's why we've avoided Friday the 13th movies. She's a
Makes
little
sense.
inappropriate.
Get a little.
Fair enough.
I
Oh,
mean, she makes everything.
It's only a matter
like,
of time till a side
You know the fucking
Fridays.
part in Wedding Singer where they're like, you think the time to make the donuts guy is sexy. That's Alyssa. That's Alyssa.
Shut up.
So where were you guys the first time you saw Jason X?
Home cleaning. Sorry.
So I did not get to see this in theaters. This came out when I was right near the end of my senior year in college. And I did not, I was like working around the clock to finish my short film, finish up all my classes. Plus, that's when I just started seeing Teresa, who's now my wife. So I was trying to like make sure I didn't lose that too. So I did not have time to run to the theater to see Jason X, which to me, like as much as I love the movies, just did not. I was like, he's in space. Like that's what they do, and they don't like. That's what they do, and they suck. But I really wanted to go. I just did not literally have time. And I don't think I saw a single movie in theaters that whole month. That might be the only month in history since I had a car that I did not go to the movies because I was so busy doing everything else. And the next week, Spider-Man came out, and I had to go see Spider-Man. And then the next week, it was gone.
Oh, no.
So for years, this was the only Friday the 13th movie that I did not see in theaters. And then I finally got to on March 13th, 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, you all just
shit.
realized the punchline to this story.
Yeah.
A theater in LA showed it at a 2 p.m. matinee, and I went, and I'm like, oh my God, I finally get to see Jason X in theaters. Maybe now it'll be better. And it wasn't. But as I'm leaving the theater, I was planning to go to another movie at the Draft House. I was going to go see The Hunt. And I'm listening to the radio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm listening to the radio, and I'm like, I don't know, man, this COVID thing sounds
It's like,
this sounds kind of real. Maybe I shouldn't go to the movies anymore today. Like, shouldn't push my luck. And so for a year and whatever, Jason X was the last movie I saw in
Wow.
theaters.
wow.
I finally got to complete my set of seeing all the Jason movies in theaters, and then I didn't go to the movies again for a week.
To be fair,
Broke me.
Yeah,
I did not go
I
anymore.
broke the world.
to be fair, that seems pretty fitting for Jason
Yeah.
X.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's literally about a dead Earth. I'm like, oh, that's where we're headed at this
Exactly.
point.
Oops,
Exactly.
accidentally caused this.
Yeah.
It's what caused this space.
I saw it the first time. I did see it in theaters.
Okay.
It was like my junior year of high school, and some dude, I cannot think of his name right now. I don't know why. He asked me on a date to see it, and he brought me a dozen black roses
Uh-huh.
and took me to see Jason X. And I
Uh-huh.
think he was like really bummed that I did not put out. But yeah,
Even after
I was gonna say, yeah.
even after Jason X.
Jason X
this
didn't make you whole.
aphrodisiac.
So I'm trying to remember when I must have just rented it when it came out, like on video or whatever.
Did you not see it when Todd did a thing at the silent theater?
Oh,
It was
I
like
must have missed that too.
that was a fun night. It was like he was hosting,
Okay.
and Barbara Crampton came, and Gunnar Hansen came. That's the first time I
weird.
ever met him.
Oh.
Random collection of
It was.
Huh?
It was. They had called, and they'd called a bunch of people and to like go, and we all met at Cantor's before.
Mm.
But it was a fun time.
All right. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't go. I'll have
Yeah.
to look back. Maybe I was stuck at work or whatever the
It
hell.
was like 10 years.
So definitely, I
ago.
mean, I go whenever there's one showing, even if it's not one of my favorites. I mean, I've hosted New Blood twice, and I don't like New Blood. New Blood's my least favorite,
One of my
and I've
favorites.
hosted screenings of that twice.
Wow.
So like, I'm always down to watch any of these on the big screen. Like, I don't have that same affinity for Nightmare or even for Halloween. Like, if they're showing Halloween Resurrection, I'm like, enjoy. Like, I'll be home doing
Why do you
literally
hate
anything else.
fun?
Resurrection is awful.
Resurrection
I love
is.
Danger
Came out the same year as this one, actually.
You don't like
And like the
Buster Rhymes
Nightmares, I'm
Improv?
very like hit or miss with, like that whole series. But any Friday, if it's showing and I have the night off and I'm free, I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'll go see New Blood.
I
again.
went to
don't
the
care.
New Blood screening that you screened
Yeah.
one time when
Yeah, we had the director. We had before he passed away.
William Butler
William
was
Butler,
there,
yeah, John
and then
Beekler, Kane.
Oh, all right.
That was a great screening.
I forget her name. I want to say Maddie. That might be her name in her movie. The girl that's like,
yeah,
oh, I need a
the-
little touch up. Like
It was cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen this in theaters.
the other time I hosted, I had the editor, so that was fun because you got to talk about all the horror stories with the ratings board and stuff. So
I thought this one passed pretty easily. That
this
was like
one
the
did,
least
yeah.
censored.
Jason X, they said was like the least
censored. of all.
like NBA was like, no, this one's actually pretty fun. They said they had to cut like the stupid drill kill or the screw. He screwed.
Yeah.
I guess they had to like cut
But,
like one turn
Yeah.
and then some of Cronenberg's blood, and I guess that was
I
it.
don't understand
How dare
that
they?
works. Like one little turn.
So, what was your first time seeing this movie?
So here's the thing with this one, it's one of those movies that I remember putting on. I know I was dog sitting at the time. I was house sitting, and I thought, you know what? I think I need to give Jason X a try. I think I need to just do it. And I put it on, and every single time I've seen this movie, I always space out. And then when I pay back attention, including this last time we watched it, It's always at a time where they're exploring, and then I don't know what the hell happened. I miss about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I just could never get through it. So last night was actually the first time I've gotten through the entire thing from start to finish and paid attention to the entire thing. I mean, I've seen it in bits and pieces multiple times, but it's interesting seeing it from start to finish.
Yeah, it's probably the one I've seen the least of all the 12.
I just don't consider it a Friday the 13th movie. It just doesn't feel like one.
Well,
It's the one that's most, but the weird thing is it's the one that's, for me, is probably the one that like I would throw on for like a party, or if like people were coming over, like let's just throw on a movie like for the background, like then they wanted Friday, if it was a Friday the 13th that day or whatever, like that would be, oh, let's do X, because it's like,
fun.
If you put on Final Chapter, I'm gonna be like, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to watch Final Chapter. Like you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you know, but like this one, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like I will look up when something funny is happening, or if Janessa is on screen or whatever. But other than that, I'm just like, it's okay. Yeah. I just don't like the way he looks in it. It doesn't look like Jason. Weird. He looks weird. Even as like, it's not even the Uber Jason thing. Like he's supposed to look weird.
Jason
then.
looks kind of
the regular one just looks. I don't know.
He looks like a human in a.
It's
Jason
a little
costume.
too like. Like not even Horror Nights, like sub Horror Nights, like local fun park Jason guy,
and he has a mullet.
Yeah, you can see. Well, you see too much of Kane.
Had a mullet.
You see too much of Kane's face in it. Yeah, and I'm like, well, I know that's Kane Hodder.
Yeah, even in those opening shots when they had his eye moving, like you could tell.
He looks like sad.
I didn't like
this?
That. Yeah, his eye looked like pretty and normal.
Plus, I always want the movie that like takes place before this, like how they captured him and chained him up for some reason
and tortured him and killed him.
Like what Cronenberg was just doing on a day to day. Like I want that movie. That's way better than like the Spaceship.
I mean, I'll take Cronenberg acting any day. True story.
This takes place in 2007.
The first it's like 2000. Yeah, it's like it's the near future then. So this came out in it came out in 2002. But it was shot on the shelf for a while, so it's probably like 10 years.
Oh no, it was
like
2008,
2009.
But then the plot took place around like 2000.
Well, it's dated 2001, but it didn't come out until 2002. It's dated 2001 because it played at a festival or it had to be nonsense. But yeah, it came out April 2002. It came out the week before Spider-Man.
Wow,
it's weird because I will say like this movie has one of my favorite Jason scenes.
That's a good kill.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite Jason kills, but I don't think of this as a Friday the 13th movie. It's just a Jason movie. But like I'll also watch Freddy versus Jason and be totally fine with it, as far as I'm like, whatever, it's canon now. Yeah, it's fine. But I don't know. There's something about this one where like I love Jason Takes Manhattan and it being silly and ridiculous and like boom. Yeah. Like ridiculous. You boombox, like just that makes me feel
like Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, but that's like fun. It's fun, Jason.
Did you guys just like
that was my Hard Eyes?
Did you guys like find a movie that you actually agreed on?
That was my Hard Eyes.
Shit,
Dream Weaver.
But that level of like comedy Jason is probably the most I can. It's still a different vibe than this one being like a horror comedy.
And that's so I was talking with Ryan last night when we were watching it because he's like, oh, I'd take Jason X over Manhattan any day. Manhattan's just not fun watch. I'm like, Manhattan is the definition of a fun watch. This one is very difficult to get through in a fun way. I mean, it's a fun movie.
No, I don't know about that.
It's a fun movie, but Manhattan Man is on another planet, and I love it.
Like, I love that this movie starts with David Cronenberg.
Yes.
There's stuff that's good. There's still plenty of entertainment value in it, but I think what does it in, and I think this, what you were saying, like it's a different kind of fun. The tone is just constantly, like it never quite lands on being almost a spoof.
Yes.
And like some of the kids act like they're in a spoof of Friday the 13th movies, and others just are like, I'm going to take this seriously, but like having fun. Yeah. And then others are just taking it seriously without realizing any humor. So nobody's like quite on the same page when you're watching it. And it just, that comes back out of the TV into you. What are your friends? And it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to react to any of this. I'm like this the whole time. I'm like, what? Should I laugh? Should I whatever? And then it's over.
Do you want to just get into it?
Well, I mean, the way he was supposed to wake up, and it's still what happens, but it doesn't really come across, is that there's like 2 or 3 couples having sex at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what wakes them up.
Yeah.
I wrote a note about
felt that.
that was like that was very like specific. That was supposed to be what wakes them up.
Okay.
And it doesn't quite land in the movie because again, everybody's kind of on
Yeah.
different pages of what kind of.
That's so I can't
Like
wait to
they
talk
should have
about
all
that.
three climaxed at the same
Yeah, yeah.
time, and then he woke.
Yeah,
up.
like, yeah.
they-
And then he's like,
Jason.
Right.
Like you know what? Maybe I
Then we
would
would
have
have got it.
Yeah.
Like even if in the edit, like if you want to keep it horny and like male gazy, like every bitch takes their top off, like boom, 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 and his eyes pop open.
This was
like,
the first time I noticed that.
That would have been
Yeah.
hilarious. I hope that's in the porn version.
Oh, that's
Just
the
for
one.
you.
So
That's in the
if
version.
you
of
guys
my
ever
heart.
need someone to direct a Jason X Part 2, I'm available.
the
Jason
remake of
wanted-
Jason X
Yeah.
specifically.
I mean that tracks though because of like thinking about like Final Girls, the Final Girls logic of like he's not gonna attack until you take off your top, like that. But for me, that follows the slasher rules, and I do think that's kind of what maybe bugged me a bit about this movie is like if you're gonna do a slasher, you kind of have to have like you don't have to follow the rules exactly, but the rules exist to help you and to help the audience. And I don't think that the rules were in it. I didn't get it. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel slashery.
It didn't feel cohesive.
And
Yes.
I kind of hate KM. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh, the sex doll?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sex doll.
her, and her wig is.
How
just-
dare she defraud my name like this? I felt bad for her though. I feel like they were trying to go for like the Borg
It's just that standard, Android,
or Data.
Android, or
Yeah, but
Lance
like
Hendrickson.
Data was like
Yeah.
actually useful. This was just like a male gazy, like this machine was built to fuck.
It was like weird science in space.
Why don't I have nipples? Everyone else has nipples. I want nipples.
And then they fell off.
And
That was hilarious. though. I actually
for
liked it.
for me to kick Jason's ass, I must wear dominatrix gear.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, the Matrix has finished filming, and I would like to borrow their costumes.
Listen, people may have not seen this movie, so they don't know what the heck we're talking about with dominatrix gear. Okay,
They definitely
It's
should.
all in there. We're not making. They're all like they're just making shit up.
not making this up.
And
I
it's
wish
like-
I could tell you.
It's not even like good dominatrix gear. It's not even like something that would have ended up in the Matrix. It's like the Wish version.
I like halter top bullets. I was like, that's kind of. It's like bad tank girl, but like I'm okay with it. I did like her
Jason-
weird
Jason
hairstyling choice
fleshlight.
though.
It was like a wig that was on backwards.
Yeah, but I like
Oh,
this
that
thing.
wig. That
It also
frickin'
bothered me
wig.
though that everybody else was wearing 90s clothes except for so
Oh,
like I don't know
They're
where
just
this is
No,
coming
everybody in the future dresses like 1999, 2000.
Well,
like
like,
confusion.
Oh my god, do you guys remember in the like when between like 99 and 2000 when they were trying to do like millennium fashion and it was like
Everything
Oh,
was
Matrix.
shiny.
it
Yeah,
was
I love
tube
Matrix.
tops with these like shrugs.
yes.
I was like, it was supposed to be like futuristic, I think, but it never caught on.
They were
Yeah.
all just. I feel like
And-
everybody just walked out of Adelia's catalog.
Exactly. It
Everyone-
was
No, they
bad.
went shopping at Forever 21 back when it was still like by color code. Like there's a lot of it like wasn't futury for me. Like the clothes weren't futury, the hair wasn't futury.
You don't know what hockey is, but you sure know what.
Oh, this is the year.
They knew.
By
This
the
is the
way,
year the
yeah,
hockey
I'm-
was.
Yeah,
good.
2024, the year hockey
Question.
gets canceled.
Are
some
we going to
reason.
go down the plot, or are we just free?
I don't think
today?
that's it. I don't even think we need to go down.
Okay.
The plot. Because what plot?
Can I just explain something about the plot that I find fascinating?
Yes.
Love it.
Because we were talking about another movie in this series. So, which movie am I talking about? Our heroes are a bunch of kids on a ship. One of the girls' students is seducing her professor. They all know Jason is
Jason
after
Takes
them,
Manhattan.
or Jason X. It
Oh,
is
it's totally Jason Takes Manhattan.
The
Totally.
structure of this movie is so
Take
much
a
like
boat to a
Manhattan.
ship.
They
Yeah.
both have. It's the only two movies in the series where everybody kind of knows that Jason is there, like almost from the start. There's no like going off by themselves and then like, where is everybody? Like they're
Yeah.
all on high alert almost the entire movie. It's Canadian as fuck.
Professor.
Jason X in
Yeah.
Manhattan. Yeah, it's got the professor seduction scene.
Yep.
It's got the highest body counts because he destroys those ships. He drowned, the
Yeah.
ship
Hit
they're
the
on sinks, and then this one he crashes into the space station, kills the whole space station.
Oh,
The
yeah.
thing about this movie has a body count of like 4 million or
Oh,
something.
no.
Technically, yeah.
Todd Farmer was like, oh, I get 20,000
Yeah.
for the
Wait,
ship.
how? Wait, what?
Yeah, because he kills, like, he doesn't directly kill them, but
Yeah.
indirectly, yeah.
Because somehow their little spaceship like crashes into the space station, and their ship keeps going, but the space station.
And he's like, it had
Explodes.
20,000 people on it. So my my body count is over 20K. You're like,
Man, I always thought that was kind of funny that like this one of all the movies like seems to be like, let's do Manhattan but in space.
No, it really is. And I love when they find him, they're just like, what is that on his face? I don't know. Hockey was outlawed in 2024. So this is the year that, hockey is outlawed.
all I know is I want him soft.
Yeah.
I do say that a
I want
lot.
Frozen.
Apparently Cronenberg wrote that line.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe it? I don't know.
No, I believe it.
He seems like such a
He seemed like he was like really into it. Like he was like
No.
super stoked. Like it wasn't like him being like, yeah, fine, like doing a favor. Like he was
It
like,
was
all right, hell
his-
yeah, I'm here. Like put me in, coach. Like I'm happy to do this.
It was his like protege.
Yeah,
right?
Jim Isaac was his
His
just
effects
this
guy.
effects guy.
Yeah.
For a lot of his movies.
And he like, I guess Cronenberg like hooked him up with a crew to make this. And his thing is he wanted to be in the movie.
Yeah. He's like,
He's
I'll
like,
be
I
in
wanna
if Jason
die.
dies. Yeah, if Jason kills me.
I mean, who doesn't want to have Jason kill them? Like, that's fun.
Would
I
you
always
guys
feel bad for the actors who are like in the like that get like the obligatory like off-screen death. Like somebody always dies like
I know,
off-screen.
lame.
Like that must suck for
I
them.
was
Like you don't get to do the
literally-
cool part.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say well, they're all kind of the hoey girls, but like the one who doesn't really have much to do, doesn't she just randomly crash into the ship at the end?
Oh yeah, she
Sucked
tries to
out.
escape. She's still
Not
they're
the
still
suck-
attached to
not
the
one
fuel
who gets
line.
sucked out, but the other
No,
one.
yeah, she's still attached to the fuel line.
Yeah.
She just, her boyfriend got killed like in the opening.
And the
like,
professor, he just wants his machete back
Yeah.
off screen.
and that guy's a Cronenberg, not the professor, but the guy he's trying to sell him to is a Cronenberg guy too.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah.
other Cronenberg movies.
I actually wanted more from the professors. I really get sad if the worst character in a movie dies off screen or doesn't get like a death that's like
Yeah,
Good.
his death
Well,
is
I mean,
pretty
he
lame.
was like
Fucking
the
good.
Burke. He
Yeah.
was supposed to be Burke
Yeah.
in this world, sort of.
Well, I actually think
But-
that one thing that Jason X had in common with most space movies is don't believe women and see where it gets you, because they didn't listen to her, just like they didn't listen to Ripley, just like they didn't listen to our hot blonde in Event Horizon.
Hashtag hot blonde.
Hot blonde.
So that is probably, I think, the most space thing about this movie, besides the obligatory space tunnel, where the haunted house space tunnel.
Oh,
yeah.
God, it's so bad.
Whee!
Question for my actress friends. Would you show your boobs for a Jason movie?
I got asked to be in the Ginger Dead Man sequel.
I actually probably would do this the
Because then you
camp
get the
scene in
death
this
scene
though.
too.
That was
good
the
for
best
you.
scene. And
It's like everybody's favorite part. It's like they go to outer space, and everybody's favorite part is when he's in the camp with like killing campers in the woods. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's all we want out of these
It's
movies.
all I want.
As much as I love Manhattan, we just like, and they, they're still talking about like, oh, I was because doing research for this, I watched some of the bonus features on the Blu-ray, and like they're, it came out a couple of years ago, so it's like fairly new interview. They're still talking about another movie, the 13th movie. Is like, it's got to be special. We got to do something like really, and like, no, you don't have to do anything unique. What you have to do is you have to put Jason Voorhees in the woods with 8 to 10 idiots and kill them. And that is as special as it needs to
Fun
get.
one.
with abs.
Like the ones that everybody loves the most, 1 through 6. Why? Because those are the ones, I mean, it's not Jason in 1, but you know what I mean? It's kids in the woods getting killed by the fucking killer. After that is when they started trying to make them special. They got Carrie, they got Manhattan, they got the body jumping, they got space, they got versus Freddy. Those are the ones that everybody's like, those are the ones that divide fans. Like the pro, like some people really like them. That's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're wrong if you like. If you like New Blood, you're wrong. But no, but if like few people disagree on those first 6, and they're just fucking Jason in the woods. There's nothing special about them.
I don't even mind the 2009 version.
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
the
just
remake's
killing
great
kids
because
in
it's
the
like
woods.
the remake worked because it was back to basics. And it's like, that's what
Jason
we wanted.
wants mom. Jason kills teenagers. Teenagers suck.
Yeah.
He's also a lucrative like pot dealer,
Yeah.
apparently, in the 2009 one.
It's not his pot. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not his pot. It's the redneck dudes.
Yeah, that he kills.
Don't
with
you
the,
like jokes, Brian?
No, it's
Okay.
not. Because
All
there were
right.
people that was seriously like hating the movie because Jason had pot now. I'm like, it's not his. Like, what is, it drove me nuts. Freddy versus and the remake are written by the same team. And they're the only two in the series that really like make jokes about the fact that it's a hockey mask. Because like one guy's like, he's at the hockey stick. He's like, oh, is this yours? And then Freddy versus Jason's like, yo, that goalie was pissed. Like the other one, like every now and then, X, they're like, oh, it's a hockey mask, but there's no like joke about it really.
Yeah.
But those two had like, I don't like Freddy versus that much, but that fucking kid, like that fake Jay Muse dude.
Yeah,
Was
not
just like,
Jason Mewes.
yo, that goalie was pissed. Oh, that's a good line.
Have you guys noticed like how many people have been trying to make like Jason and Snow movies?
I would love to see a Jason and Snow movie. I think
I'm
that
all
would be
for it.
awesome.
Well, I mean, I love any slasher horror movie in the snow, only if they do the blood right. If the blood does not steam, I'm out. Don't like that.
No digital blood.
No. not
Real
really.
blood on real snow. Well, it could be fake snow, I guess. We wouldn't really know the difference.
Real blood.
Unless it's
but
like
fake
that
snow is
weird,
fine.
that blanket snow. I hate when they use that blanket kind of snow and you
Yeah.
see somebody
Oh, yeah.
landing and like all of the snow in like a 7-foot area kind of like flutters up and down. Like, what are you doing? Stop it.
Or like when it's
throw
like
some
the
potato
foam
flakes on it.
snow, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can tell they're like
Like the
foam.
slopes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
born and raised Cali, so I don't know what snow is.
Just go to the Midwest and film. Iowa needs money. Indiana needs money.
There's got to be a lake in Iowa somewhere.
I filmed a straight up, like a full-fledged horror movie in Wisconsin, middle of the day, ended in the shooting at night. No one noticed.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single other human the entire time we were there. Go film in Wisconsin, filmmakers.
I'm sure you can do it in Maine too.
Yeah.
There's some pine trees there.
Yeah, but Tom McLaughlin talked about it when he was on our podcast, and he was talking about, the idea of doing Jason again and doing it in like another.
So many people are. Like the filmmaker who did this movie, his original idea that he wanted to do was Jason in the wintertime.
And the sequel to the remake was going to be not all snow. The remake has like that 20-25 minute opening, which
Yeah.
is almost like this like mini movie. They would have done that again, but it would have been like a 20-25 minute Jason in the Snow movie. And then it would cut to 6 months later when they are reopening the camp.
That's cool.
Because of like the main complaint they got, I guess, from the remake was that people wanted the camp, to be open and not like this like husk. They had a screening a couple weeks ago. Josh Miller hosted a screening of the remake, and the writers were there and they talked about it. And it's like, why didn't we get that movie?
Honestly,
Money.
I mean, I really like the opening of the 2009 film
Yeah.
too. So it's incredibly Jason. So I want more of that. I just want a Jason movie to feel like a Friday the 13th movie, and I don't think that's too much to ask, unless you're making a fanfic, which I respect fanfics. Make your fucking movie, because if someone isn't making it and you want to watch it, go make it. Go do it yourself.
Can we talk about the VR game? Oh God.
Considering you're like, I brought the gamers on today. Let's talk about VR. So I will say fully, I love VR. It does. I got a motion sickness issue with it, which like not all of them, but like there's a couple games where if it's too like Phasmophobia cannot do it. It's too choppy. Yeah. Supermassive Games does some really great like slasher VR. I would love to play a Jason game in an actual like legit VR where you're like running from him. Like
Ready Player One.
Yeah, Friday the 13th, the game, but Ready Player One, where I'm like legit running and then he kills me and I'm like, oh no, my body. Like that would be so awesome, especially if you got to like experience that like moment of fake death. Like that would be freaking crazy. I don't know what this is. This definitely reminded me of like a Star Trek holodeck though. Did
you guys ever see that movie? What was it? It had Michael Douglas and Demi Moore.
Oh yeah, Disclosure.
Like they have like a VR thing too.
See, I was sold. I'm older than all y'all. I was sold on the promise of VR with the Aerosmith video for Amazing, where VR apparently VR. If you have a computer, you can VR yourself with Alicia Silverstone on a motorcycle, doing whatever you feel like doing with Alicia Silverstone on a motorcycle. And I'm like, VR is the future. This is gonna be the great. And then we get it for real. And it's me playing Tetris.
Like,
but,
that's the version they have
the version they have in Jason X still does not exist. Like whatever, like the whole room can transform and you don't need any equipment. Jason himself can walk in and just see the room the way you're programming it to.
Oh, but also but they were wearing equipment and he wasn't.
Yeah,
that I just remembered that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, how's he seeing the monster or whatever that they were fighting?
Yeah,
hold on, Jason. Let me get your helmet on my bed. All right,
sir.
All right, hold on. Let me adjust your eye. Yep. Okay, eye distance. Good. All right, you're good.
Let me adjust the pupillary distance.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get a messy gameplay.
Oh, Jason, you only got one eye. This ain't gonna work for you. Shit.
But like this is definitely inspired by Star Trek's holodeck. Like because I think that's one of the most famous iterations of a full-fledged, you are immersive VR. And for theirs, you didn't need any gear. You kind of were just like, you were there. So, and they've used that in Star Trek where they were like tricking an enemy because now you're on the holodeck, and they did that in this too.
There are some details with it that I do like, that like when they trick him later with the two campers, if you look in the back, you see part of the ship and like you see the lake ending and like shit. I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. Like there's some thought to it, but
it's
it was kind of
he doesn't have
silly.
Depth perception.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for him to see the end where the ship begins.
He's remarkably good at killing for a guy with no depth perception.
You know,
Right?
I never give him props for that. Good job, bud.
I went as Snake Plissken once for a costume wedding, and I remember like I had the eye patch on, and I remember sitting at the table and reaching for my drink and missing. For like after like 5 minutes of wearing the patch. So it's like that man he's fucking talented.
Is that
We don't give him enough
your
credit.
Twitter profile picture that I met you?
Yeah.
When you
I mean, I did Jason one year for Halloween, and I built a thing for my face to cover up one eye because I just had the mask on top because I wanted the like messed up, like Jason, and I had a friend go as it's Pam. And I was like, I love making these elaborate costumes that I don't consider the fact that I'm going to be out and about all night, and I've made a huge mistake. But it is a lot, and especially for the actor who's wearing that on set, when you're doing prop weapons, when you are doing stunts. Kane Hodder is great at what he does, and playing this character menacingly, bringing all this stuff, like bringing all the energy that we want from Jason. And, having to wear the mask, the effects, all that, and still bring this energy and vibe and do it safely. So props to that, too. Well, let's just talk about our favorite scene, the best scene in the movie.
When's over?
Cryo kill.
Cryo kill.
I think the beginning and the end. I mean, my favorite.
Cronenberg's part's great. Cryo kill.
Not Bridget Wilson.
The fake Bridget Wilson, yeah.
Like every time I watch it, I was like, is that her? I'm like, no. But that is a memorable kill.
It does have some good kills.
Yeah.
Like out of everything in this movie, Space gives you the option to give Jason more choices.
I like how he just knows how everything works. Like he knows what Cairo is. He's
Right?
like, all right, I'm going to put this girl's head in, it'll freeze, and then I can smash it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I did. I figured this out real quick. He would do great in the snow.
Yeah,
He's already figured it
stuff
out. But I mean, the whole movie, there are a lot of, at least if you're going to be in a whole nother place and you're taking a known serial killer to somewhere else, you have to be inventive. Giving him a new weapon for a little bit, that's always fun. Before they give him a whole new body.
He just wants his machete back.
That's all it wants.
Here, sir.
I do like the buyer scene. I like that guy because that guy's just a great weird character actor, and he's just like, DVDs, I can't move them. I told you. I'm like, this guy's on a different planet, and I love this. I mean, maybe literally, but like figuratively.
FaceTime scene.
Yeah.
I wrote.
They invented FaceTime. We got to give him props to that.
I wrote that was probably the easiest paycheck he's ever made in his entire life.
He's just like laying in bed. He's just like, wait,
that
Jason
scene
Voorhees?
dragged so long, and it was hilarious.
I mean, I think a lot of it, I didn't like the military. There were. For a Jason movie, the amount of humans in the cast, when I rewatched this, I was like, there's a lot of people to kill. There's so many characters. You're all going to die, but there's just so many of you.
And Brodsky's got that great line, too, with like, they want to capture him alive. So after you kill him, put one in his leg so he could say we tried. I'm like, that guy's cool.
I do like that. And they did. He did, though. When he hooks him, he's like, shooting up your legs like a little kid at target practice where he's just like, and then Dead by Daylight, though, he jumps the hook, attempt hook rescue, and he's like, yes, I will. Bloop, hops down. And
Brodsky is a cool character.
Yeah, I really, he has some, what's the line where he says where he's like, it's gonna take more than a stick in the side to end me, and then he's like, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
I mean, he doesn't even die, but that's still a
lines. Those are the cheesiest.
I love the cheesy lines.
He's screwed line just like, step too far for me. Sorry, I can't.
And then this sucks on so many levels.
I can't deal with puns. I have zero tolerance.
It just
for
didn't.
puns.
There's a lot of
way
puns
that
in this
they.
movie.
But she wanted that
but
to be
it's hilarious.
her last words. Like she was like, This sucks on so many levels.
Hey, maybe she thought she was going to make it.
I will also say from a logic standpoint, though, where's the rest of her? I didn't go get.
Oh,
yeah,
it
they
doesn't make
cheat.
any
They
sense.
cheat so bad because that would have been an awesome kill to watch. And then they just like they cut, and then there's just like some like Jello hanging off the hole. And I'm like, what's this
literally
shit?
some it's latex. It's like one of the things that they use with it's made famous by American Werewolf in London with like the jiggly bits that hang off in latex, and it's literally that's what they did. They just threw them on there.
Weak.
Yeah, and that you're right though. That would have been a really, really cool death scene.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Missed out on that. I would love to watch someone because it's kind of like a Resident Evil with the chopping, the like very like but we would have gotten to see it going through a grate. I wouldn't even care if it was CGI just to have it.
Yeah,
just give it to me. Better than not doing it at all than to do it badly, I guess.
No off-screen deaths. Boo.
We didn't talk about KM's stuff.
You talked about her being having her weird sex doll outfits.
It's very hot in space, apparently, because nobody's wearing clothes.
But also, they don't have anything else. What else are they doing? That one guy, like
research, motherfuckers.
No, that one guy that's navigating the ship, he's like taking naps the whole time. And also, these are supposed to be students, and I don't know if you guys remember college, but like it's because you're free now, and not only are they free and away from their parents, they're in space. You know what? Do you?
Fair.
I actually, the professor weird pliers sex scene.
A negligee. He just had to wear the negligee. That was a requirement.
That was a lot, but especially a lot for a character that I think deserved a way better death. Not because he deserved it, but because I deserved to see it.
Now he needed an on-screen death, I feel like. For sure.
We just see his head later. Like, he does the like, oh, he just wanted his machete. And then they cut to them and they're just like hearing it. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
But you get to see all the deaths of the random like commando dudes that show up in the middle of the movie out of nowhere. Like, it felt like they made the movie and it was 70 minutes long. Like, so they just added these guys in the middle to like get it up to 90 minutes or whatever.
Do you think that was budgetary?
I don't know. It just, it's part of the problem with the movie is that, again, like I was talking about before, like with the tone being all over the place, it feels too episodic.
Yeah.
Like there's too many characters who never actually interact.
Right.
And it's just like, that's just like a random kill. And like, yeah, I get that we're basically here to see the kills, but there's got to be some sort of unifying theme to it. Otherwise, it's just...
Didn't they have someone else do some like rewrites after
Todd did not write everything. He said that in the book, the Crystal Lake Memories book, he does say who the other writer was. And the other, my favorite thing about it, also one of the writers is Louis Abernathy, who is most famous for being the dude in Titanic. He's the guy that's like, who's like Bill Paxton's like right hand man, like the big fat hippie dude. Like he wrote a lot of the movie too. So good for him.
Interesting.
He went from Titanic to Jason X.
That's interesting.
But he was like a Cameron buddy. I forget how he exactly. I think he worked on Deep Star 6, I think. Sean Cunningham. I think that's what he got involved. But Todd was not the only writer at all. And Todd doesn't love everything in the movie either. But like I said, it was just, there was too many cooks in the kitchen on this one. Yeah. Everybody was trying to make a really good movie, and nobody was wrong really, but they just never got on the same page. Yeah. It affected the final product. Like if anybody actually got their way and the other 3 or 4 principal people were like, all right, we're with you. Like, do it. Like, maybe there would be some people that didn't like the movie. There were some people that would, like every movie, but I think it would be a more consistent movie, and it would be easier to like land on. You know what I mean? Like it's like I said, it's just a weird movie to watch because like you're never quite sure how you're supposed to be watching it. I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing at it or with it. It's never really scary.
Jerk it off.
Like,
who do you think was responsible for the line, "Hey Slappy"?
Hey Slappy.
Like who thought it would be a great idea to call Jason Slappy for no reason at all?
I do like that Jason like looks over and is like, all right, I have these victims right here, but I'm curious what you're all about. He's like, I'll give you 5 minutes. What do you got?
What do you got?
I also love that. I feel like it was 6 years after the space boom. It was like 4 years because this is something I want to talk about in the future. most sequels in space were 1996 for some weird reason. And this one just decided to be.
It was the 10-year anniversary of Challenger, later. And everybody was like, looking to get back into space. You know, it'd been long enough, you know.
Yeah.
I just feel like it like just passed the point of, okay, we're done with space. Yeah. And I think that was also a little weird awkwardness there.
Well, like when you bring up the fact that it's so many, the cooks in the kitchen, and like this scene doesn't really, this whole segment, I won't say scene, this like entire middle segment doesn't feel like it fits in. And I thought this while watching the movie, is that it reminded me of like Battlestar Galactica. It reminded me of like an episodic TV show. If this was an episodic Jason miniseries, I actually probably would have liked it a lot more. We could have had, this is the military-based episode. This is the science episode.
They ended up writing sequel books to this. There's like 3 or 4 of them. And I've only read one. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was like 300 pages. No, even more than that. I think it was like 400 pages.
Who wrote that?
Jason didn't even show up till like 150 pages in or some shit. Like he was like, what are you doing? But
does this person have an editor?
It's somebody who's just mad.
And they're
really
so expensive too. If you go online, they're like hundreds of dollars for these books. I'm like, they're terrible. Please don't buy it.
Wow.
I lucked out. I got it for like 40. It was still way too much. But anyway, it's because it's so Canadian. It feels like it almost like I could probably like it more if it was the bigger budgeted pilot movie for the sci-fi Jason X series. Where like they would like continue one of these goofy space adventures in like a sort of Battlestar Galactica or Andromeda, I guess, which is like the 2 main girls in the movie are from. Like I would probably accept it more because it just, I don't know, it just has that TV, you know, even though this movie costs more than any other movie in the series,
it did.
by far, like it costs more than a lot of them combined.
Yeah.
It still somehow looks the cheapest to me, but I think it's because they were trying to do so much with not that much more than what they usually
think it's the cast.
The soundtrack doesn't help either because the soundtrack is very. I can't even say what. Like,
the opening theme, like where it's almost showing hell, I guess, like show how we get out of hell or something. I don't know, but isn't too bad. It almost sounds like Hellraiser. It's like it's got this. But
Christopher Young is over there like...
Christopher, like, I'll never say I should sound like that. But the rest of it is awful. And I did hear a story. I don't know if it's true, but I choose to believe it. I heard a story from somebody involved with the movie that they did a test screening for the movie without the score, and it got a certain score. And then they tested again with Ari Manfredini's score, and it actually got lower.
Oh, no.
I think that's hilarious because it is truly an awful. And he did most of the other movies. He did all the other. He didn't do his Manhattan, I think.
Right.
But like he was trying something new, I guess, and it's just. I mean, it really does a lot to like cheapen like hurt them. Like it's like I don't want to listen to the score. Like no, I'm not watching Jason X. Because every Friday the 13th you throw one on. Like and I don't go in order. Who cares at this point? So it's always just like, all right, which one am I kind of in the mood for? But like this one rarely comes up, and the score is actually part of it. Like I don't want to listen to that.
The score makes me so uncomfortable, and I don't know why. It just I can't do it.
I think 5's next. Next Friday the 13th I'll watch 5.
It's 5, 2, and 7 are my throw-ons, and 8.
2.
Yep.
I really love Jenny.
2's great.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I think that as far as the Jason movies go, maybe this one isn't the most Jason or Jason at all, but it works. It counts. Well, you know what? It's got kills. And in the end of the day, I'll just watch the kills.
I just think that they really missed an opportunity to call him Mecha Jason.
Oh, yeah. That's not his name?
No.
That's what I call him all the
Jason.
Time. Is that his name? Is Uber Jason?
Yeah.
Why is it not Mecha Jason?
I don't know, because they're not nerdy enough.
It looks like Donald Duck on steroids, though. His final form is just like...
Never be able to unsee that.
It's got a red eye and...
Really is.
It is very confusing. Why does that change his shape? But like I don't know. There was a lot of stuff with that part where I was like, but how is anyone dying if we can just sew y'all's body parts back together using like weird tech? So like no one dies? Everyone dies. Whatever, it's fine.
If you listen to the commentary on the Scream Factory Blu-ray, you will hear Todd Farmer call me a dick for making fun of a missed opportunity in the movie. So I'll just plug that right
Easter eggs.
Easter egg. If you have the Scream Factory box set, watch the new commentary, which is just Todd with Peter Bracke, who wrote the Crystal Lake Memories. Because they're studying Jason because of his regenerative tissue.
Right.
In the future, they have this nanotechnology that can, like, why don't you just say that, like, it's because of their studies on Jason that they have this technology? And he's like, because I never thought of it, you dick. So he tells that story in the commentary, and it made me so happy when I turned it, because I had no idea. I just put on the commentary because I watched Friday the 13th commentaries. I love listening to them. And hearing that made my whole year. That made me so
That's
happy.
funny.
So watch the commentary.
So be nerdier about your Friday love. Watch a commentary, and you get to hear me get called a dick.
I can't wait to do like a 12-hour marathon of just talking with you just for no reason at all.
I did
just
marathon them.
my own benefit.
I did when Shudder was doing a marathon, and I live tweeted the whole thing, but only the first 8.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if they did. I don't. They might have stopped at 8 because that's what the Paramount to New Line switch happened after that. So I can't remember if they kept going and I just stopped, but I just did the first 8. I know, but that was the first time I'd ever watched all 8 back to back, and I live tweeted the whole thing. I took like a 20-minute break somewhere during I think part 5, and that was about it.
I did that in high school. I watched all
I
of them.
can't usually marathon movies. Like I can usually get to I could probably do 2. And after that, I'm like, I am sick of looking at these people. Like, I don't, but I mean, I was drinking. It's Friday the 13th. I was doing it for a cause. Like, I was live tweeting. Basically, I said, keep donating and I will keep going. Like, if I get another $50, I'll do the next movie. And I donated all the money to, it wasn't Red Cross, it was something like that. It was during COVID.
That's cool.
So I gave all the money to them.
That's a good idea. Well, and I love that when, Shudder has been bought by AMC, and AMC used to do the Friday 13th marathons on Halloween. So it kind of, it fits.
That's what got me into horror.
I definitely have the USA. USA was the one that used to show them
USA
when I was
Up
younger.
All Night.
And I had part 5. My copy of part 5 was taped off USA, and it was borderline incoherent because I cut so much out of it. Like, it was like Jason would be here and then like in a different part of the house entirely, and like none of the kills. It was like, what is going on?
5 and 7 are my strongest memories. Yeah. Well, that was Jason X, and that was Jason X.
So extra thanks to our guest, Brian Collins, for joining us to talk about a franchise you so love.
I love it dearly. It's my favorite franchise. I just love talking Jason, and I'm thankful for you giving me an opportunity to do so.
There will be many if I have something to say about it.
I will do all 12 movies. I don't care.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching another episode of our Spaceship Slaughter series, and we'll be back next week with another.
Yes, we will. If you enjoy these episodes, we have a Patreon where you can unlock our full episodes, where you see all the good stuff.
They get spicy.
I mean, all the good stuff. So we have a link. Go to our Patreon. Enjoy the uncut goodness.
Make sure to follow us on all of our socials. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, we got them all. So like and subscribe for horror news, for shorts, and for trailer watching, basically all your horror content that you don't get in the podcast episodes.
Until next time.
Sweet screams, everyone.
And whatever you do,
don't fall asleep first, because I'm going to draw on your face.